I won't ask you to play cover riffs because you said you don't like learning covers and shit.
I barely know Enter Sandman.
That's crazy.
Today we are ranking the albums of Orbit Culture, starting with Odyssey in 2013. The first EP from this Swedish band following a demo the same year, and I said at this point they sounded like the perfect cross between Lamb of God and As I Lay Dying. 5 songs, all pretty decent. If you like 2000s metalcore, it's pretty enjoyable with plenty of great riffs. They just don't really sound anything like they do today, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one at okay. Next up is In Medias Res in 2014. Their debut full-length and going a bit more melodic death metal with this one, with Nicholas growls getting pretty vicious in places. Much better production and bigger atmosphere, stepped up further by the use of strings and choir on the Tribes interlude. Some real headbangers here too, like Obscurity. Some killer technical genty riffs on Aluminum that made me think I accidentally shuffled over to 6th. And those riffs really do start to take over here, as with Karat, with those snarly Swedish vocals and sorrowful vibes giving a little Viljarta. And then Of Sovereignty is an insanely awesome closer packed with killer hooks. I have a feeling plenty of fans will disagree with this take, but I put this one fairly high, as it's one I enjoy more consistently, and I frankly just vastly prefer the death growls to some of what we're going to get moving forward. It's missing some of the signature touches that we kind of equate with their sound at this point, but I'm still putting it at fantastic. Next up is Rasen in 2016. Continuing to step up their riffing with the almost Gojira-esque opener Svartport. Unfortunately, this also marks the somewhat make it or break it beginning of including Metallica-esque Jarls.
Oh, here he goes again.
Now, full credit, I think that as far as metal Jarls go, Nicholas has one of the stronger ones out there. It's not annoying or grating, and frankly, he could probably sub in for Hetfield any day and pull it off. It also fits the more groove metal direction they head from this point forward. That said, again, I just prefer the growls, and I am very choosy about music where I enjoy this style of vocal. Anyways, stepping up the atmosphere more with tracks like Son of All, Obsession, and Haste to the Pyre. Honestly, I'm not as down for the more melodramatic stuff and think it gives the album some drag, but I'm sure for others those are like their favorite parts, so such it goes with opinions. I do still enjoy those songs quite a bit though. Plenty of faster and heavier stuff for me to enjoy here as well. Love the eerie energy of the title track, definitely a standout for me, as is the crunchy Wings of Dragons. Also dig I the Wolf quite a bit, and the interplay of the acoustic and electric guitars on the umbilical cord. Just a hint of dark tranquility getting channeled there. And then Dawn of Light is a serious banger and another excellent closer in War. I considered putting this at fantastic, but I'm ultimately gonna put it at great tier. But next up is Redfog in 2018. Another EP, but at 30 minutes, it's only 8 minutes shy of the debut LP. Another strong track in Redfog, one of the better ones so far to lean into the Hetfield vocals, quite the explosive final minutes too. Unfortunately though, in general, they do a lot more with the cleans here, and most of it I don't enjoy outside of the title track. Both See Through Me and The Newborn One, despite enjoying the piano and string elements, really ramp up those sappier qualities I don't like as much. Also noticing the track lengths getting a little longer at this point, and I'm not sure that they do a great job of justifying them, at least at this point. So this one I just put at good. They followed that up with Nija in 2020. Solid enough opener and at the front, if a little less impactful for me personally. Those Hetfield Jarls getting a bit shameless at times too, it feels like. And speaking of which, Mirror Slave feels like a straight up Metallica track from the Black Album era. Like tons of like sort of sad but true energy going into some of these tracks at this point.
Take what you need to take. You steal and no one noticed.
More string-filled melodrama for North Star of Nija. I like this one a bit better than anything on the last EP, but it's still not a favorite for me. Not a big fan of Behold or Rebirth either. I prefer Day of the Cloud. But my favorites are definitely the pummeling Open Eye, the proggy Nensha, and the kind of industrialized The Shadowing. I've seen many call this their favorite. To me, not so much. There's a lot of highs that I really enjoy, but also some lows too. And so I just find it to be kind of inconsistent. I'm sure it's going to be an unpopular take. I put this one at great tier. Like, they don't have a bad album, but I don't love this one as much as some people do.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Next up is Shaman in 2021. Now, I think this EP was actually the first thing I listened to from these guys. And now here's an opener I can mostly get down with on Masked of the World. All of their elements from the vocals to the synth largely coming together in harmony. Very epic track. Flight of the Fireflies is another banger, also with its own grandiose elements. Carvings is super catchy, feeling like the perfect fusion of 90s Metallica with a modern gent sentiment, almost like a cover or remix. Same for The Strangler, just add a little Power Man 5000 to it. And I know some of you will groan at me saying that, but man, is that something just made for me. And then as someone who also enjoys some pirate folk, A Sailor's Tale is an interesting turn as well. I think this is one of the best things that they have made, even if it's only 25 minutes. Like, really rock solid EP, no time wasted. I'm putting it at perfection. They followed that up with Descent in 2023. Now, just hearing the single From the Inside was more than enough to get me hyped to listen to this thing. That track is just craterously heavy while also managing to still keep things dynamic and interesting with elements of glitchy electronics and especially the synth and piano that open it up into something truly, again, epic. Trying not to overuse that word. Strong opener with Black Mountain feeling like it once more does the kind of big, grandiose elements in a more engaging way. Killer Stomp to Sorrower. Then there's also Vultures of North with Nicholas sounding absolutely primal alongside the chugging palm mutes and whatever the horror movie anxiety-provoking backing track is, absolutely harrowing.
Just hook it to my veins!
Alienated has more of that same fun energy from the last EP, another infectious chorus on the Isle of Fire. Undercity, more like Groove City.
Hey, that really sucked!
Again, sad but true for a new generation. And another insane headbanger in Descent. Excellent album that engages me all the way through, thanks not only to the heaviness, but also dynamic progressive songwriting that keeps you guessing. And I feel like they really found the perfect sweet spot with the vocals that really makes the dynamic work for me. Furthermore, there are enough special little touches to show growth from the band and make this album stand out in a year packed with great releases. This one is also going to perfection. They followed that up with The Forgotten, also in 2023. Now this came out just about 6 months after Descent, kind of like a DLC pack, and somehow these 3 cut songs are just as good, if not better, than anything we already got on the album. They managed to hit as hard as a sledgehammer while still leaning heavily into their progressive side. While We Serve and Sound of the Bell both provide plenty to chew on over their runtimes, while the Upheaval is a more focused punch to the gut. And for just 19 minutes of music, you get a solid standalone experience with plenty of twists and turns rather than just feeling like less interesting leftovers. I feel like this ultimately should kind of just go alongside the LP again, kind of like a little DLC pack at perfection. All right, before we get to the final album, just a reminder that this is all just my opinion. Please do include your own rankings down below. It is all subjective. And also, if you're enjoying the video, hit the like button. Both of those things really help me out in the algorithm. But that brings us to Death Above Life in 2025. Hydra is another serious head bobber of a Metallica-esque single, and Inferna makes for a strong opener once more, mixing some great headbanging with more atmospheric elements. Cool synth line on that one too. Bloodhound is just a straight heater. I was in danger of injuring my neck with this one. Inside the Waves getting maybe a little sappy at times for my taste, but it's a solid enough track with some cool guitars, just not one of my favorites. Same for the closer, The Path I Walk, which has like a big sad string section, but just doesn't do a ton for me personally.
You have no heart!
When it comes to the sadder sounding tracks here, I definitely prefer Nerve. Better riffs, more engaging songwriting, just a killer song. Neural Collapse is a bit of a mixed bag for me. I love the harsh vocal parts, but the Hetfield ones feel a little strained and become kind of grating at times. They've grown on me a little bit, but overall there's way more good than bad on this one, and those gang vocals are just undeniable. The Tale of War is another one that feels a little on the kind of generic rehash side of things at this point, but is still a strong, heavy track overall. But back on the plus side, The Storm has this incredible driving force to it that I find very motivating. The more I thought about it, this and a few other songs here actually kind of remind me of what I used to get out of listening to As I Lay Dying back in the day. Very different style overall, but I can hear some of that DNA in the guitars. And then I love the massive drums and War March energy of Death Above Life. Cool little guitar hook on that one too. One of my favorites. Overall, not as good as the last one in terms of consistency, but still keeping things strong. There are some serious high points, and the lows here are more like plateaus than actual valleys, so I can't really complain. This had a tough act to follow, too. I do feel like at this point they may want to experiment a little bit more because some of the kind of base formula is maybe getting a little bit stale at this point. But most importantly, I just want to thank the fans out there for convincing me over the years in the comments to give these guys more attention. I was not disappointed, had a good time listening through all of these, and I am going to put this one at fantastic. Y'all check out this playlist for more groove metal rankings, or this for your personal YouTube recommendation. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.